Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily is part of the Modern Grower Podcast Network. Check out some of our other shows like Carrot Cash Flow, the Growing Microgreens Podcast, and Farm Small, Farm Smart. Learn more about the shows using the link below. Okay, I've talked to several growers. There's two camps. There's the I'm harvesting with some sort of mechanized device that's fast and it jumbles everything up, but I'm done with the tray in 2 seconds. And there's the I'm harvesting with a chef knife that's super sharp. I'm placing it in a clamshell. All the stems are lined up in a certain direction. What camp are you in and why?
Yeah, that is us. Yeah, that's how we got some of our restaurants without having t-shirts or business cards in the very beginning. That's just telling them like, hey, we're cutting everything on the same day. We're using a sushi knife. Everything is propped up. The reason behind that is because the water flows to the bottom. So then the longevity of the product lasts longer. So I think telling the chefs how you go about doing things shows the passion behind it, which makes them more interested in it. And that you're not just here to make money because it's like it's not even the newest fad, but like the current fad.
Yeah. There is no machine harvester that can cleanly cut the microgreen without tearing it in some way. So that tear just releases so much more water into the clamshell and the shelf life is just so much less, especially when you
I feel like we've even noticed it with mushrooms. We use, what are they called?
Yeah, we use
blades?
surgical scalpels for cutting mushrooms.
And we tried the dual scissors before, and even that serrated cut, the mushrooms won't last as long. So even mushrooms and microgreens like that clean cut.
Got it. And then it's all how are you placing them in the clamshell? Because you mentioned something like of how the water drains away. So now I'm curious.
All standing upright. So the leaves are on top and the stems are all on the all facing down towards the bottom of the clamshell. And then we throw the clamshell in the fridge open. So the water drains down and then evaporates out, removing all the moisture from the clamshell and keeping it dry and fresh.
Yeah. And there's probably something about that presentation that also elevates the product. If I hand somebody something nicely arranged, it looks very different than if I hand somebody a jumble. Not that a jumble's bad, but it just looks messier.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it looks nice, especially when you're doing samples. Someone opens something up and then you're like, oh, wow. Again, you're like, this is extremely presentable.
Yeah.
And then it also helps out if we happen to miss like a bad microgreen, one that like didn't rot, but it like wilted. And if it's now on the bottom rather than in the middle with everything around it, it's not going to infect everything around it nearly as fast it wouldn't affect them if they were standing upright rather than if they were all jumbled together.
Yeah. Harvesting with your hand and looking at it before you place it in the clamshell, it forces you to have another layer of quality control that you wouldn't have if a machine was throwing it into a clamshell without you inspecting it.
What are the clamshell sizes you're using?
One size, 32 ounce clamshells.
32 ounce clamshells. I think some people don't go the chef knife route, clean cutting, properly placing, because they think it takes a long time. If you're harvesting, let's just say sunflower, because most people grow that, a tray of sunflower, packing it all out into clamshells, how long about would it take to do a tray?
It's fast.
A minute 30.
Yeah, even less than a minute.
Yeah, a minute is if you're talking. We get 4 to 5 clamshells per sunflower tray, and it takes us about 2 handfuls per clamshell, and 2 clamshells to put in the 2 handfuls to put in the clamshell shouldn't take you more than 20 seconds to do.
Yeah,
Just a matter of getting fast at it, getting precise, knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think it's a difference if it's like just started harvesting the day, or if you're like 25 trays in where you're just in a groove, got it down, you know exactly how big of a handful to do. You're not having to pluck out because you put too much in and now it won't close.
So do you just know about by look, feel this is enough weight?
Yeah. So we measured them in the very beginning, and it takes a really long time.
Yeah. And then without measuring them, we take them all out and then we measure them all to see if we're remaining consistent. And you are. Your hand is always the same size. So when you grab 2 handfuls, it's always going to be pretty much the same weight.
And then you can only fill up a clamshell so much. So everything is pretty much the exact same weight.
Yeah. We try and pack them a little more maybe than our competitors to give our clamshells more value without packing them too much and bruising the...
And everything goes in the same size clamshell?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the price you sell to restaurants on clamshells range from where to where?
Because we throw everything in the same size clamshell, stuff that is really dainty and takes up no space at all in the bigger clamshell is more expensive. So
it's
leeks.
Yeah, it's $12 to $18 or $19.
Yeah, and leeks are the most expensive because you can throw
an infinite amount in there.
Yeah, you could throw a whole tray of leeks into one clamshell, and it's just a heavy brick of a clamshell. Because of our shelf life, that works, and chefs have never had a problem with leeks getting bad before they use them all, or whatever it is.
Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is the go-to source for 100% organic, GMO-free microgreen seeds. Trusted by hundreds of growers for high quality and low prices. If you're growing microgreens, start saving at shop.moderngrower.co.